Okay, today we are playing a game on Blizzard World. We are in the Platinum SR range, and we will be playing Widowmaker the entire way through. And our team comp is, if I get this out of the way, D.Va, Roadhog, Widowmaker, Pharah, Anna, and Bridget. So we've got one of those team comps where... banging the table, sorry. We've got one of those team comps where no one really wanted to be a tank. So they were like, yeah, I'll pick D.Va and I'll pick Roadhog, because they're in the tank category, but they're fun, you know? So we'll do that instead of actually picking, like, a better combination of tanks. D.Va Roadhog is one of those just, like, traditionally very bad tank combos, because they just... Whenever you put, like, two off-tanks as your tanks, it just ends up usually being pretty bad, but, like, Roadhog and D.Va just have no synergy with each other, really, either. So, it's very unfortunate overall. Also, just think it's very awkward as well whenever there's a Pharah on a team, but there's no Mercy on the team, because Pharah is just a much weaker hero without Mercy, unfortunately enough, because it makes it difficult to justify picking that hero sometimes if you really like to play Pharah if there's no Mercy. You don't have to have a Mercy, but, like, it makes it harder. And if your healers are like Moira, Lucio, you can't do it. You can't pick Pharah, because you'll just end up spending so much time, like, looking for healing, rather than actually playing Pharah. Anyway, whatever. So let's just start the game, shall we? So we gotta defend Blizzard World 2. Oh, we're on the console. Aha! You remembered before it was like 30 minutes into the video. Hooray. Hopefully a 10-minute, 30-second long game doesn't end up being a 30-minute video. But you never know. You never know where we might end up. So, the convenient thing about Blizzard World for Widowmaker is it's very nicely lined up for her, line of sight-wise. So we've already killed their Anna, so now their only healer's Lucio. Lucio's dead now, so they've lost both their healers. They're in for a bad time now. They do have a Junkrat out there. Junkrat's dead now, don't worry about it, actually. So that first push went real good for them. They had a great time right there, didn't they? I like how on theme our UI is with our skin, because we've got the spiderweb skin, and our UI is purple as well, so that's nice as well. It's very matching. It's a fine enough skin, but whenever I see, like, this Widowmaker skin, I always feel like, just like Blizzard's come up to me like, hey, did you know that a Black Widow is a type of spider? And do you know that spiders are associated with spider webs? That's what it feels like, you know? It's a fine enough skin, it's just like, it's so obvious that it's incredible it isn't just like her default skin at the same time, you know? Perhaps they thought it was a little bit too over the top for the brainwashed purple lady who is blue because she has lower circulation, because she was genetically engineered that way. I don't know, whatever, anyway. Also, there's a gorilla from the moon with a jetpack, but, you know, whatever. So, anyway, we're having a great time. We're playing Widowmaker right now. What's our Venom Mine up to? I guess we have it over... We have it over there somewhere? I guess it's guarding, like, behind us. I've never been super fond of using the Venom Mine like that, because you can kind of just, like, listen instead for somebody coming. I prefer to just, like, chuck the Venom Mine at people, because it's just basically, like, free damage, which makes it easier to kill people, gives you the infrasight, and, if absolutely nothing else, it's just more ult charge. So, they're coming out this way now. Reinhardt, rather, just used his ultimate, but not like it has anything to do with us, right? You know, we're up here having a great time. So, not much is really happening right now that we particularly have to worry about. I'm not super keen on using infrasight right now, just because it looks like they aren't really going to be doing anything for the foreseeable future now, because both their tanks are dead. So they're going to be waiting a while now before they can actually make a push in. Well, they should be anyway. As we can see, Junkrat's got some different ideas. Theoretically, they should be waiting for their team to regroup a little bit right now, so I'd prefer to use infrasight when they're more likely to actually try and make a move into the base, rather than when they're all basically just waiting around outside the base anyway. since the whole point of using the ultimate is basically that it makes it easier to get people picked off. So they do have a Sombra, so the Venom Mine's got that going for it, I suppose, that we can try and get Sombra. I'm still just kind of like... I'd still just kind of prefer to chuck it at people, to be perfectly honest with you, though. Oh, here she comes again. Oh, it went so well the first time. Why not just try it again, right? It's got to go better this time. So now they have a Zenyatta, because Anna was having such a good time with us before, right? Fucking Lucio. Maybe try something else, champ. He's just like, he's determined that he's going to go left through that gate, and he's just going to jump at us. Maybe try something else, dude. He's just like, boop, 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 down the street towards us. Come on, dude, you got to be a little bit more, you got to put a little bit more effort into it than that. So things are going absolutely fucking swimmingly for them right now. And you know they're getting tilted over there. You know someone over there, probably Anna/Zenyatta, is like, alright guys, why is no one killing Widowmaker? Alright, well, Sombra's like, I'm trying, but she put the fucking Venom Mine on the staircase. What do you want me to do? It's like a fucking diamond wall is protecting her. There's nothing I can do. Man, they're really bad, aren't they? Damn. We could have tried to shoot Junkrat out of the sky right there, because we just saw him. Whoop. So we could just try and shoot him out of the sky right now, seeing as he just jumped 1,000 miles in the air. And that would feel real good if we pulled it off. And real bad for Junkrat. But he's dead regardless, because, I mean, you know. So, you know, have I ever told you the definition of madness and all that? They're just, like, trying the same thing over and over and over again. And it's not really working out super well. We've killed the Zenyatta/Anna outside of the gate, like, 3 times, just because they're hanging around out there, like, not really doing anything. They finally now have a diver who may potentially consider trying to contest us, but as we can see, it's simply too late. Zenyatta just tried to actually shoot us, one-shot us with his right-click, I think, but it didn't really work out super well for him. So as we can see, they're having a great game. Sombra just used her only EMP of the game at the very, very end right there. Things are going well. So, before we finish today's video, I'll just say, games like this are not usually the best ones to send, because usually you want, like, a really close game that you ended up losing. Those are, like, the best ones to send in. You don't really want it to be a stomp one way or the other, and not to spoil the outcome too much or anything, but it's kind of a stomp. Widowmaker in general has a little bit less to say about her, because she's a very mechanically driven hero. Not that there's nothing to say about Widowmaker, there's meta stuff going on, like holding sight lines and things like that when they use infrasight and all this, as well as, like, cooldown management based on the enemy team comp and all that. There's stuff going on, other than just click on the head to make the man not alive anymore. But, when the game's a stomp, it's, this feels bad, man. When the game is just a stomp, there's less to say, so I would, recommend sending in a closer game. At the very least, it doesn't have to be a game you lose, but ideally it's a closer game, because a stomp one way or the other just has less to say about it compared to another game. Because people always say as well, you learn more from a loss than a win, and that's true, certainly. But there is a line there, because a stomp can be so ridiculously one-sided on you that there's nothing for you to take from it other than, shit, I guess I shouldn't play against that guy again, you know? So, anyway. They've got a Mei. Mei's inconvenient to most people, but we as Widowmaker can actually kill the Mei easier than most heroes can. So things are going great right now. So Reinhardt just decides to be a really rude dude to us for the next little bit right here. Look at this guy. Look at what a rude dude he is, just staring right at us like, you can't do it, you can't shoot past us. Right, fine, I guess I'll go away. Looks like Bridget was coming up to try and get us. She didn't get us. We have almost died, but not quite. So we didn't really get to use much of the infrasight, sadly, seeing as we had to go off and actually heal up as well. Interesting. Well, I got 2 people, both the supports as well, so I guess, you know, that's me shown. Ooh, thought we weren't going to get her for a second there. That was scary. So, yeah, a lot of our team died right there. Both our healers died. We gotta wait for them to get back before we have any feasible chance of actually getting in. I can see, based off the kill feed, that D.Va is trying her hardest to get staggered right now, which she's managed to get back out alive, miraculously enough. And then she decided to stand perfectly still while she was mostly dead, and yet she didn't die. Because there's no justice. So... we haven't been doing a lot with our Venom Mine, I don't think, this round. I haven't been keeping super careful track of it, to be honest with you, but, like, do something with it. Just, like, we don't even have a Venom Mine on the map right now, so the cooldown is just sitting there doing nothing, which isn't an efficient use of company resources, but an efficient use of company resources is to kill 3 people. So, you know, at the same time, that works out. So yeah, as you might be able to tell, we're pretty close to winning right now. Oh, look, we're winning now. Great job, us. We clicked many mans. Those mans are not alive anymore. Nice. So, from the email that this was attached to, it says that, I can't seem to rank up and I'm stuck in a win-loss, win-loss, win-loss most of the time. And... you know, there's a little bit I had mistakes and correct them. There's not so much to pull out of this one because it was a really one-sided game. But I do want to just point out that the win-loss thing isn't that unexpected just because of, like, how statistics work. Because most people end up climbing with, like, a 51% win ratio. If you've got, like... 53% win ratio, you're doing pretty fucking good. You're doing, like, fantastic by that point, all things considered. So, it's not really that unexpected for it to go kind of that way. The thing is that, like, as you get closer to the rank where you, like, actually belong, right, where you are skill-wise, it gets harder to win, and you should expect your win rate to be really close to 50% one way or the other. It's just... hopefully, it doesn't end up going win-loss, win-loss, win-loss constantly the whole way through, because that feels very depressing, yes. But overall, that's actually not that surprising that it would be that way, because assuming you're in the skill bracket you should be, you're probably going to only win, like, slightly more games on average than you lose. And ideally, over a very long period of time, you will climb, provided you play consistently well. So, I just want to point out that, like, don't get too upset over being, like, stuck in a win-loss situation, because that's kind of like how it ends up going a lot of the time, is you win close to half your games, and ideally you're winning slightly more than you're losing, and you climb over a long period of time. Climbing is a marathon, not a sprint, and it doesn't feel good, especially if you watch, like... any streamer or YouTube or anything like that, because they always just, like, fucking skyrocket up the ranks, right? The thing is that they're really fucking good at the game, right? So they will. For average players, like you and me, because I only have, like, a slightly positive win ratio overall across all the games I've played, got up to Masters in the end, but it was a fucking grind, I can tell you that much. I had to play a lot of games, just to have a lot of free time. So, overall, I climbed pretty quickly, but it was still a grind. So, there is an element of just having to grind out a lot of games, unfortunately. It doesn't feel good. You know, nobody wants to do that, but it is just kind of the way climbing a ladder goes in a competitive game, unfortunately. So anyway, this game was a stomp. Feels good. You know, when you're the one that wins the stomp. Obviously, it doesn't feel very good when you lose the stomp. It's fun to step on people. It's not fun to be stepped on unless you're into that specific kind of area, you know? So, I would recommend sending in a slightly closer game, and then we can get slightly more out of that one. I was a little bit out of this one. Basically, I wasn't super stoked with how we used the Venom Mine, and the Infrasight, like, the 2 times we used it over the entire game, you know, basically, because it was a real short game. Anyway, so thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us, and I hope you found the video helpful.